push all the limits with you right now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another clean with me. Now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's still pretty much the same, but we're going to be doing a Mrs. Hinch style clean. So I'm going to be using all of her iconic go-to products to do this clean with me. But first things first, let's grab ourselves a coffee and make a little to-do list of what we need to do today. So of course, in true Mrs. Hinch style, I'm going to be using her little book of lists. There's all different list layouts in this book for you to write your cleaning list, which I absolutely love. Okay, so before we get into the clean video today, I just thought I would do a very quick little cleaning haul because as you can see from the title, today we're going to be doing a cleaning video with a twist, something a little bit different, guys. I know you absolutely love my clean with me's, but let's be real, they are very repetitive. I do tend to do the same thing, use the same products. So for today, I would do following Mrs. Hinch's cleaning routine and use some of her like iconic go-to products. Now, there definitely are some products that she uses that I use as well, but there are a lot of things that I don't tend to use in my routine and I wouldn't really go to, or things that she uses for different things that I wouldn't, if that makes sense. So I've tried to pick different things. By the way, if you don't know who Mrs. Hinch is, which I'm pretty sure everyone does, but I know I have a lot of people overseas watching, she's basically queen of cleaning. She's got a cleaning book out and she also has this book, which is a list book, which is just insane because I write lists all the time. So I thought I'd pick this up. So this is a new thing that I got. It's a little book of lists. So obviously, as with any clean with me, I always like to write a list just so I know what I'm doing. I can tick it off. It's super satisfying. So I will be doing that first. I've broke down products in terms of each room. So first things first, Minky, which is basically just an antibacterial cleaning pad. Mrs. Hinch always uses this just to wipe down surfaces. I've got this lovely limited edition one. Zaflora Lavender. I believe this is her go-to scent for Zaflora. Well, she had it on her stories anyway. So I've got that one. Soda crystals, I believe she uses this a lot of the times down plugs and stuff, so we'll have a little look at the story and follow that. Osmo, now if you watched my clean with me video a couple of weeks ago, I actually recently picked this up due to Mrs. Hinch, and I've used it already and it's so good. So yeah, that's one of her go-tos. Again, the Sift Perfect Finish, I do actually normally use this, but this was a Mrs. Hinch recommendation. Elbow grease, now I don't actually use this. Again, this is one of Mrs. Hinch's go-tos, an all-purpose degreaser. I think she used it on like appliances in the kitchen and stuff. I don't know, we will see, and I will use that. Also has this as one of her go-to products, which is the Pine Disinfect Cleaner. I've actually never used this, so that will be interesting. She then also uses white vinegar spray, Sif, which I always use, and then good old fairy washing up liquid. Moving on to bathroom. Now, I was watching one of her stories the other day and she cleaned up the whole toilet down with this bicarb of soda spray, so I thought I'd use that for that. We've got some Domestos bleach. I actually never really use bleach, so yeah, that will be something different. Flash bathroom cleaner. Now I do always use this. It's one of my go-tos too. Another Zaflora for the bathroom, so I've got a tropical twist one. A Dettol all-in-one spray. Now she uses this on her towel rail, so I don't actually ever do that, so that will be interesting. Some Pine, which is actually my go-to and it's her go-to too, and some mold and mildew blaster. I believe she uses this for like tiles and stuff. And then last up we have the living room, which I feel like these products are probably the newest ones out of everything actually. I've never actually had this Febreze. It's a lavender scent, which is Mrs. Hinch's go-to. So Mr. Sheen multi-surface polish. I actually never use polish, so that's something different. 1001 carpet spray. I do normally use this, but this is the new spring blossom and mandarin scent. Now, one thing I couldn't get was the Astonish. I think it's Astonish. Yeah, the Astonish window and glass. So this was the next best thing I could get. Stainless steel and shine. And then this Pledge fluffy duster, which I believe she calls this Dave. Is it Dave? I know she has like different names for everything. So yeah, I've got one of them as well. And then for bedroom, I think some of these things are similar for the bedroom, but she also uses these Lenore tumble sheets for pillows and bicarb of soda for the mattresses. So yeah, that is everything. A lot of products. So please don't judge me. I wouldn't ever normally use this many products, I don't feel like, in a clean with me. But like I said, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to follow her sort of routine and the products that she uses for each individual room. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so before we start the clean with me, obviously I just want to give you a little before just so you can see the absolute state of my kitchen currently. Just like to show you a little piece of reality to show my house does get dirty and it does build up. Okay, so first things first, we start every clean video with a declutter first. So just simply getting rid of all the crap on the sides, putting food away, notebooks, just random bits and bobs that have accumulated on the side, just so we've got a clear space to begin with. Okay, so tackling the bins first of all, I'm just simply taking the bin bags out, and I'm going to be using the Astonish Germ Clear disinfectant spray. So this is in like a piney smell. I'm going to be completely honest, I love pine for the toilet, but I don't know, just for like the kitchen and everything else, I don't really like it. It definitely gives that sort of school smell. Does anybody relate? I don't know, I just didn't like the smell of this personally. It definitely obviously worked and cleaned the bins and disinfected them down. By the way, that's my bin brush, that isn't the one that I use in the sink, just in case you're wondering. But yeah, it definitely wouldn't be a go-to disinfectant for me personally, just scent-wise. Next up, I am just going to be using, you can just use some paper towel. I actually use some laundry sheets for this because I ran out of paper towel. And I'm putting some Zaflora in the bottom of the bins. I actually realised that Mrs. Hinch's favourite Zaflora was the pet one. I don't actually like the smell of this as well. Yeah, wasn't a firm favourite. I do have this in my cupboard already, but I don't really use it just because, like I say, I feel like I have better scents. I like the lavender one, the tropical one. Yeah, don't know what it is about the pet one, just not a fave. Then I'm obviously popping in the new fresh bin liners. Then to finish, Mrs. Hinch likes to use some bin deodorizer, so just sprinkling some of that into the bins, and that is all smelling nice and fresh. Right, next up, moving on to the worktops and the shelves. So again, I'm just taking the Astonish Pine Disinfectant, which, like I said, does its job, serves its purpose, but just personally not my favourite scent ever. I don't know, I just don't feel like it gives that nice aroma that when you walk into your kitchen, you're like, oh my god, this smells good. Like, I feel like it just smells very schooly. Use the Astonish stainless steel spray for my coffee machine, and oh my goodness, it is so awful. It is so streaky. I really don't like this product. This isn't one that Mrs. Hinch uses, by the way. She does use the Astonish window and glass, which is so much better. I have used that and it is so good. So yeah, wouldn't recommend picking this up. I think I did have to go over it with my white vinegar in the end because it was that bad. Okay, moving on to the hob, I'm taking the white vinegar spray to clean this down. So always start from the top and then work your way down to the hob after. And then moving on to the hob, Mrs. Hinch uses Sif for this. Now, this is actually my go-to too, so no difference here. I did actually run out, so I couldn't complete the love heart. But yeah, I absolutely love this for the hob. It smells amazing, it buffs it up really good and gives it a good clean. And then moving on to the other side of the kitchen, I'm just doing exactly the same, working from top to bottom, cleaning the shelves, again with the Pine disinfectant spray, and then moving to the bottom, cleaning them worktops, and then I will go in and clean my silvers too. Now I am just going to take the white vinegar spray for the silvers because, like I said, I did not get on well with that Astonish stainless steel spray at all. And then another thing I'm just quickly taking is the barkeeper's friend. So you just literally put a little bit onto your minky and just scrub it over your worktops. This is really good for any tea stains, just any hardware and stains that are hard to get out of your worktop. Honestly, it is so, so good. And yeah, I got that tip from Mrs. Hinch also. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just quickly spritzing over my smegs using the white vinegar spray and just a glass cloth. I think Mrs. Hinch uses something called Kermit. Well, that's the name she's got for her little green one, which I do have, but that one's in the wash. Right, anyway, I'm on to just cleaning all the kitchen units down. Again, just taking that pine disinfectant spray, minky, and just giving those a good wipe down. Okay, moving on to the sink. So Mrs. Hinch uses these soda crystals for the plug hole. So I think it's about 1 spoonful. I don't know if I put too much or too little in here. Some white vinegar, and then you want to flush it through with some hot water. And this obviously just keeps your plug holes nice and clean. Then I'm just taking the Astonished Pine and just spritzing that all over the sink and giving that a good old wipe down. Then again, taking Barkeeper's Friend just for any stains that I couldn't get off with just the pine disinfectant. Like I said, this stuff is so, so amazing. Like, look how clean that has come up. I'm then just finishing off with the Sif stainless steel spray. Again, this is a big favourite of Mrs. Hinch's. You need to use it with a dry cloth though for it to work and give that good shine that you're after. Then just finishing off with a couple of caps of Siflora in the sink, some steaming hot water, and this just sets up a beautiful aroma. And then I'm also just putting my cloths in there so they can soak and smell amazing. Again, another tip from Mrs. Hinch, but I did decide to use a tropical twist one this time. Right, next up we're doing the surfaces. Now I decided to use the bicarbonate of soda spray for this. Again, this is another Femme Faves of Mrs. Hinch at the moment. As you guys know, I actually prefer the French soap one in this range by Flash, not the bicarb soda. The bicarb soda is still really nice and fresh smelling, but honestly, the French soap one is where it's at. So if you haven't tried that one, I would urge you to go and try it because it smells so, so good. Anyway, moving on to the hoovering. I was clearly very hot at this point because I took off my cardigan, so excuse the gym wear. But yeah, just quickly putting the hoover around. I really need to invest in a new hoover. Okay, moving on to the fridge. The fridge definitely needed a good old deep clean and just a nice organise because everything is currently just chucked in here, there and everywhere. Okay, so the best place to start is by taking absolutely everything out of your fridge. So you've got a blank canvas, and then you also want to take out all your shelves and everything that's attached into your fridge. Then taking a Mrs. Hinch favourite, Fairy Washing Up Liquid, you're just going to run some hot soapy water and put all of your fridge shelves in there. Use your Dishmatic and just give them a good old scrub and rinse. And then back to the fridge, we're just taking the Osmo fridge cleaner and deodorizer, again another Mrs. Hinch favourite, and just spritzing that all over the fridge, taking your minky, just giving it a good old scrub down, and then putting back your freshly cleaned shelves back in. And then you're good to go. You're good to go and put all of your stuff back in the fridge. At this point, I like to check any dates and anything that needs getting rid of. Obviously, get rid of it because I can be a little bad sometimes with things going over and not chucking them away. So yeah, now is your time to go through everything and put it back nice and neatly. Okay, and then taking that same Osmo spray, it's actually for microwaves as well, so we're just going to quickly spritz the microwave and just give that a wipe over. Okay, and then for mopping today, I'm going to be taking the Flash Speed Mop, which is again another Mrs. Hinch favourite. I absolutely love this mop. It gets up so much dirt. It's really quick, easy, and also all of the mop wipes are fully recyclable as well, so that's good. Okay, and then the last place we are going to do in the kitchen is the windowsill. So again, Mrs. Hinch likes to use the elbow grease for this, and she would also go outside and clean all the window ledges with this too. I'm not going to do that today, but yeah, you could do that. So I'm just cleaning down all of the windows, and also I think I did the windows too with some window and glass spray. And just the sides, and this came up lovely. It's actually scrubbed up so well. I think sometimes you forget to actually clean the around the window. So yeah. Okay, so moving on to the living room, and first things first, I'm just going to be simply taking some Febreze fabric spray and spritzing this all over the sofa. Now, you guys already know I'm a massive fan of Febreze and use this on the regular, but I've actually never ever tried this fragrance. It is the lavender one, and again, obviously a Mrs. Hinch favourite. This is the one I noticed that she always reaches for in her stories. So yeah, just going to be spritzing that all over the sofa, and then using my £1 little brush just to get off any hairs and dust that is on the sofa. You will be so surprised with how much crap this picks up. Like, it's crazy.
And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep.
Next up, the sofa did have a few little marks on. So what Mrs. Hinch does for this is she simply gets a bowl full of just warm water, normal wash detergent, and then make sure you get a white cloth, just because obviously you don't want any like colour transfer. And also it's so satisfying because you see how much dirt it actually gets out of your sofa. So yeah, really good to do this just every once and again. Okay, and then next up, we're going to be taking what Mrs. Hinch calls Dave, which is the little fluffy duster, and we're also just going to take some polish, Mr. Sheen, which I don't actually normally use. So we're just going to be going over all of the surfaces. I am actually so impressed with this little fluffy duster thing. Like, the amount of dust it just picks up, and you can see it all on it. There are different heads that you can buy, obviously, you know, when you use your head and it gets filthy. So yeah, they are replaceable heads. But yeah, so good. I hadn't used this before, and I really recommend it. So I feel like going forward, this will be incorporated into my cleaning routine. And I was also really impressed with the polish as well. I feel like I did a really good job, and I feel like I haven't been getting dust on my sides as quickly, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really recommend it. I didn't think it would actually work that well for glass. Next up, I'm just doing a quick hoover all over. And then to finish, all she does is simply spritz the rug, the carpets, whatever you have, with the 1001 little like mousse spray, and it just smells so fresh. Okay, so moving on to the dining area, again, just quickly getting the hoover out and just hoovering under the table itself. And then again, I thought I would try the polish on the table. If I'm completely honest, I don't feel like this works as well as like obviously window and glass spray, because obviously it's glass, and I don't know, I just feel like the glass doesn't smear as much. You can probably see a few smears. It did clean it, but yeah, would probably just go back to using my window and glass spray for this. Okay, and that is my open plan living, kitchen and dining complete and all fresh and clean. Okay, moving on to the bathroom. So on one of Mrs. Hinch's stories the other day, she gave her toilet like a deep clean with this bicarbonate of soda, and then she also filled just a bowl of warm water up, and she had a sponge. So I'm just using an old Scrub Daddy. Obviously I didn't want to use anything that I use on other places because this is a toilet. So yeah, try and get a sponge that you just sort of designate to the toilet. So this is going to be my toilet sponge now. And yeah, just literally starting from top to bottom and just giving it a good scrub over. I then also just put a little bit of bleach down the toilet and then got the, you know, the toilet brush just to give it a good scrub and clean and make sure like it is immaculate. And then I did flush just to obviously rinse that bleach away. Okay, so today, instead of using our pine, we're going to be using the Blue Aroma. It's like a powder and it foams, and it's basically supposed to be really good for like lime scale at the bottom of the toilet. You can leave it overnight and then flush in the morning. So yeah, I'm just simply going to use that and leave that there. Okay, then we're just grabbing our Flora. We're just going to take one capful of this and pop it into our toilet brush holder, just to obviously, you know, disinfect and anti-bac that. Then we're taking my trusty Flash bathroom cleaner. Now this is what Mrs. Hinch uses all the time. And then we're also taking some, is it Vical? I don't really use this, but Mrs. Hinch seems to use this all the time, and she uses it on her like shower heads, taps, and again, it just helps break down lime scale around your tap. So yeah, I've just sprayed some of that on to leave, and then I will wipe it off. And it does do a good job actually. I don't normally look at the head of the shower and the tap, to be completely honest with you, but if you do look, there is like little bits of lime scale, and it definitely got it off. So yeah, really, really good for that. Okay, next up we're taking the Astonish Mold and Mildew Blaster. Now I have used this before, and this is a Mrs. Hinch favourite, and this is so good for tiles, and especially like the grout in between tiles. It does discolour and you don't even realise, so you can just spray this on, leave it for like 5 minutes or whatever, and then wipe away, and honestly it comes up as new. I also really recommend it if you have fake tan stains on your bath and things. It's so good, but obviously do use rubber gloves because, I don't know, I feel like it might have bleach or something in it. It's definitely a little bit strong. Moving on to the sink, again just using the Flash bathroom spray, which is a firm favourite of Mrs. Hinch, and just giving that a scrub with my Minky. And then, as per usual, just simply wiping down all of the sides, and then I'm also just going to take the white vinegar spray and just spritz over the mirror and give that a good clean too. And then one of the last things you want to do is grab some Zaflora, pop it in the bath, run a little bit of water and just leave it there, and oh my goodness, it makes the bathroom smell amazing. Okay, last up we are doing the towel rail. So Mrs. Hinch uses her Dettol disinfectant spray for this, and literally just spritzes it on the glass and window cloth and then wipes it down, and oh my goodness, I was so amazed with how good it buffed up, and it smells amazing as well. So yeah, really recommend that. And then I'm just taking the Febreze again and just spritzing the towel down with this, because again, this is what Mrs. Hinch does and it smells so good. Okay, so to finish up in the bathroom, all you're going to simply do is just mop, and again I'm just taking the Flash speed mop, and yeah, just giving that a good clean. It was so filthy, and I actually feel like I didn't do an after of how clean the bathroom was. So yeah, you just have to take my word for it. I'm sure you can see from here how sparkling it looks. Okay, and then moving on to the last room that we're going to clean today, and that is the bedroom. So first things first, I'm just going to simply make the bed. Now, this was Saturday when I filmed, and I normally do my sheets once a week on a Sunday. So yeah, they did need a clean, but we've got one more day out of them. So how I like to make my bed is I like to like pull the cover back, if that makes sense, and then layer up all the cushions and then sort of like fold it down. Does that make any sense, guys? This quilt, by the way, is from Matalan. I always get so many questions about it. It's always sold out because I actually believe that Mrs. Hinch promoted this. I got it ages ago, and then I saw that she promoted it, and I feel like whenever she promotes something, it goes out of stock straight away. But yeah, keep an eye on it. You can sign up for like a back in stock because it's so affordable, and I just love it. You don't have to iron it, which is amazing. Next up, I'm just taking these Lenore dryer sheets, and Mrs. Hinch actually pops these into pillows, and apparently they smell amazing, so I'm going to try that. Don't normally do that, but obviously doing it for the video. And then I'm just taking Dave, the fluffy duster again, and just wiping down each side first, and then I'm going to go in with the polish, and I just use the window and glass cloth to go alongside that just so it doesn't smear. So yeah, I find this combo actually works really good on mirrored furniture. Then we're just going over to the side again, just using the duster just to dust out any bits, and again the polish. And yeah, like I said, I really love this combo. And then just simply going over the mirrors again with the polish and the window and glass cloth. This mirror is from Exclusive Mirrors, if you are wondering, because I always get so many questions about it. And then again, just simply taking my hoover, going to hoover everywhere, and the flash speed mop, and give everywhere a good mop too. And that is the bedroom, all clean and sparkling. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed this sort of like Mrs. Hinch style clean with me. I know there is a lot of products that I admittedly already use, but yeah, just thought it'd be a little bit something different. There were a few newbies in there, and I hope this has given you some cleaning motivation. So thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all in my next video. Bye bye.